This is a Jmix exclusive.
How were you brought in for the Are You Still Down album?
Um, what song was that? What song did I produce on that one?
I'm Getting Money.
Okay, that was what happened was this is when Pac died or whatever, and thing had took over, and so she had started out doing the right thing. Her first instinct was to work with everybody who knew Tupac. So that's what her words. I want to work with everybody who knew my son because I don't know this stuff. So I want to bring everybody that he constantly worked with and put them on this project so that we can, put out my son's last project. And so she contacted Layla, and she came up to the Bay Area, and we went to the studio and produced the song. She was there while I was producing it.
And did you produce that from scratch?
Yeah, that was produced from scratch, and that was from what happened there. I guess it was another song with music up underneath it. So I basically produced music to his a cappella track.
Do you think that if Afeni would have stuck to that formula of working with people that knew her son, that the last couple albums might have sounded better or been a little bit more successful?
Oh, most definitely, because you can't take, that's like taking, you just can't do that. You can't mess with chemistry and formula. You can't take a Tupac. Well, I mean, he can rap over anything, but you just can't take anybody and put anybody in the studio with Pop. For some reason, all of the stuff that he was doing, it was kind of, it was such a vibe and chemistry with the people who he worked with versus, him getting a track from somebody that he didn't even know, that didn't even know him, and they're just throwing something up underneath it. It just it don't fit. It was never really a good tight fit because the fans wasn't accustomed to those type of producers, and Pop wouldn't have chosen those producers himself. Otherwise, he would have been working with those type of producers. So, but once a non-creative person, non-creative people get into it, or people who's not, wasn't really a part of Pop's camp like that, they get into trying to produce a Tupac album. It's not going to have the same shine on it as it would have if she would have stuck to that same formula, which was a perfect one. But as time goes on, people get in your ear, people get in your head. Oh, no, don't use Mike Mosley. Use such and such because such and such is the hottest person out right now. You know what I mean? So there was that whole A&R record label bandwagon jumping type of thing. Like such and such got the hottest single out right now. So let's pair him up with Tupac. I mean, on paper, it makes sense. It makes sense what they say at one point, but the sound and the feel and the nostalgia of doing something like that, it just, would mess up the chemistry,
Absolutely. I have a question about a song that you did. You remixed Tears of a Clown, and according to Wikipedia, it was supposed to be on Loyal to the Game. Do you know why they didn't use that song?
Don't know. You should never know what they do, I don't know. I have no idea.
Do you still have that song?
I don't even remember that song. I don't even remember that one.
It's fair enough. Do you have any scrapped or alternate remixes laying around that never made the cut? Even of stuff we've already heard?
Yeah, I do. I have, I wonder if Heaven's Got a Ghetto. I don't know if that was Tears of a Clown or not.
No, I don't. That's the one. I wonder if Heaven Got a Ghetto. That's the one that has I believe it's an In Vogue sample in it that goes bop.
Yeah, yes. That's it.
Tears of a Clown is a real early song. I guess it's from the early 90s.
Right.
We've only heard it in really bad quality.
Right.
I wanna plug whatever you're doing. What's next for Mike Mosley? What can we expect? What can the fans look for?
What I'm doing now is I am currently producing, these hood urban films. So I just did one. So I'm doing with all of my people who I've worked with. I'm doing a movie right now with this guy with Febo, and I have his music in there, and I'm producing music on it. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the music soundtrack for it, and I'm producing the album. I'm producing the actual film. Producing the film meaning I hire this person to shoot it, hire that person to edit it, hire this person to do the sound. You know what I mean? So I'm producing the same thing of what I'm doing. I'm just producing the visuals to go along with music because music really isn't, you can't really get it out there as much anymore as you used to. So I want to just give the people a lot more, just the music, just then the music, you know. So I got a couple films coming out. One is called Corruption. Another one I'm working on is called Pole Magic, which is about the life of strippers. It's not a reality show; it's an actual TV series. And I just did a deal with a good friend of mine by the name of Ralph Tajian, and he's kind of like my business partner on these film and television things, and a lot of his catalog. I'm working, helping him rework his catalog, and just putting albums out in the digital distribution systems.
In closing, all these years later, what does that make you smile memory of working with Tupac?
What is what? Say it again.
What is that? When you remember your times with Tupac, what's that one memory that always makes you smile?
Oh, that that what makes me smile is the one time the one and only time that I did have just me and him in the studio. Me, him, and one of my other homeboys, Almost High, was when we were producing. What is it? Can You Get Away? Where I had enough time just to be able to just have some one-on-one sidebar conversations with him. We talking about all kinds of stuff. So that was really like a really most memorable thing. But my funnest time, of course, was the California Love video shoot. Because after the California Love video shoot, we went to a comedy store, and we met him and Suge at the Comedy Factory, a comedy store, some comedy club on Sunset. And so Tupac and Richie Rich and Suge were sitting there, and so they saw me come to the door, and so they kind of like signaled for me to come in, even though the comedian was talking. And so, of course, I'm walking through the crowd trying to sit next to him, and the comedian, tears into me. So, that was like one of my funny favorite times with him. It's like they set me up. Richie Rich stood up like, come on into the zone, Mike Mosley, come on. So he's like set me up to get talked about,
No doubt, man. We really appreciate it, and I appreciate the time, man. When I edit this down, I'll send you the draft before it goes up, man.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you taking the time. And
no problem.
If you ever feel the need, we'd really love to hear that. I Wonder If Heaven Got a Ghetto version that's not been out.
Yeah, I get it to you.
No pressure. I'm not being like that, but we love Tupac, and we love your remixes, man.
All right. That's cool. So what do you think about, let me ask you a question. What do you think about that album that he did? I'm actually going to be doing a book as well. It's kind of about Pac, but it's really about me and everybody I've worked with. But the majority of it is with Pac because a lot of people want to know different little things. So I have like 30 or 40 different conversations that I had with Pac. And I'm basically touching on each one and what I think about it and how I feel about it. So it's going to be pretty informative and pretty good read, for people. And I wanted to call it Supreme Euthanasia, actually, what I want to call it. And I wanted to get all of those people that he wrote down, all of those names that he wrote down, and the producers and the artists. I actually want to try and get that project put together, even if of course he couldn't be on it, but if I just get the songs produced by this person, produced by that person, and get the artist who he wanted to get on it, Coogee Rap or whoever it was, and try to put that thing together. You think that would be something that the fans would want to try and support?
Oh, absolutely. You're talking about the handwritten Supreme Euthanasia
Yeah,
track list?
yeah,
No, that's a fantastic idea. That's really great. I think that they would. I think that I'd buy it.
right,
I'd buy it, and I'm
right,
sure a lot of people would. Um, yeah, that's a great idea. I never thought of it that way, but that's a great idea. Absolutely.
yeah. Oh, okay.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?